Kevin Concepcion is a legit wide receiver number one. He can pick apart defenses and lead your team to a college football playoff, which is exactly what Texas A&M is hoping for in 2025. Let's go ahead and grade the move. Welcome on into SEC Unfiltered. He's Dave Shumate. I'm Cole Thompson. And today we talk about the former Wolfpack phenom headed down to Aggie land. Real quickly, make sure that you like the video, hit the ring notification, and subscribe to the channel because we talk college football every single day. Download the podcast version of the show wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Follow us on the socials. Link in the description. Follow us on social media. Link is in the description. And check out all of our great work found at secunfiltered.com. This episode is brought to you by our friends over at RHOBACK. Go to RHOBACK.com and use the promo code SECU for 20% off your first purchase. It's a new year. It's a new you. Don't you want to be dressed the 9 in 2025? Do so. RHOBACK.com, promo code SECU. Dave, I am over the moon. Like, I am so giddy when it comes to being a Texas A&M fan. If I was a Texas A&M fan, because of just, this is a guy that I believe is the ultimate X factor. This is a dude I believe is a legit force in college football. And I have said in the preview, I went back and I watched the prediction video. I said that whoever lands this kid is going to the college football playoff in 2025. And I may be jumping the gun, and I'm okay with that. But the skill set that Kevin Concepcion, KC Concepcion has is second to none. And he's going to College Station, and he's joining a wide receiver room that is the most improved in college football this offseason. A&M's cooking with fire. A&M is laying down the law. They are putting their money where their mouth is and saying, we're going to be a force in 2025 for a college football playoff berth.
Yeah, I mean, no, they have definitely one of the better young wide receiver groups in the country, and it's not just going to be this year that's the thing. Like, you add in KC Concepcion, and again, that's a big get. You've added Mario Craver, we've talked about, Micah Hudson, we've done reviews, grades on all them before. They got some young cats coming in as well. I mean, we talked Terry Bussey still in the roster. I mean, it's the most loaded skill guy. If they can get Ruben Owens and Le'Veon Moss really going, I mean, shoot. I mean, you may have as much talent, weapons at your skill spots they've had in over 10 years, certainly. Like, I mean, it's definitely the best room Colin Klein, or best side of the ball from a personnel standpoint Colin Klein's ever had. Because they didn't have these guys they had at K-State. I mean, the best guy he had was Deuce Vaughn. Now you have that toy KC Concepcion that can play on the inside, outside lineup in the backfield. My only concern, it's not a KC Concepcion thing. It's not any of these players individually. How do they fit in to Colin Klein's system? This is the year heading into 2025. You can actually judge Colin Klein. I think he underachieved a little bit. They had some injuries. I think how he utilizes these toys across the board will be key. And last thing, I'm a little up and down on the kid a little bit. Now, he didn't start the whole year. I like some of the things Marcel Reed can do. There's some areas you see where he's a better passer than even a guy like Jalen Milroe, you could say at times. And I'll say this, with as many of these weapons coming in, there must be something some of these weapons, these skill guys believing in Marcel Reed as well.
We have to realize that Kevin Concepcion's brother is going to Kansas State. So the similar offense that was run up in Manhattan is now in College Station. So there was rumors that maybe he could go and join his brother out with the Wildcats. Not going to happen. He's going to go to College Station. Number 5 overall player in the transfer portal. Number 3 wide receiver. ACC Freshman of the Year. Broke out in 2023. Was a standout for the passing attack in Dave Duran's system. 10 touchdown catches, 839 yards. Even in a down year for NC State standard. Finished with 460 receiving yards, 53 catches, 6 touchdowns. For his career, over 100 receptions, over 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. I truly see this guy as a legit number 1. And now I'm putting him on the outside. You and I have talked so much about what Marcel Reed can be and what he can't be. It's very clear that Texas A&M is going all in on Marcel Reed next year. They brought in Jacob Zeno as a good backup contingency plan. They flipped the kid at the last second to go be a part of the 2025 class. They have a Miles O'Neal, the kid from the 2024 class. They feel good about their quarterback room. It's Marcel Reed. But you and I have said there are winnable plus, winnable minus. When you have a winnable minus quarterback, he won't win you a game single-handedly. You got to build around him. That is what Texas A&M is doing. And you look at a guy like Mario Craver. He can be a vertical threat. He can win in the slot. He can use his speed to be able to go ahead and beat up on defensive backs. You look at Micah Hudson. I think he can use his size. I think that he can use his route running. His catch radius is second to none. You still have Noah Thomas on the roster. Big-bodied wide receiver that you want to target inside the red zone. But then you get Kevin Concepcion. And Kevin Concepcion, for me, despite the frame at 5'11", just feels like he can do everything. He just feels like he has stick-em on his hands. He is a pristine route runner. He makes cuts that are surgical. And now he's coming down to College Station. There should be no excuse for Marcel Reed not to be better in 2025. Because remember, this was a team that did lose 4 of its last 5 games down the stretch after starting off 7-1. You have a guy like Casey Concepcion paired alongside with Noah Thomas. You have a healthy run game. How are you not excited about what this offense can be? Again, I'm not going to say will be, but can be. This is a big, big get for Derek Miller, for Mike Elko, for Colin Klein, for this offense going into a critical year or two to establish themselves as a legit force in the SEC.
Yeah, no, this will be the ultimate tell-all year here, and I think this will be the potential for Colin Klein. If he can't get it done with this group, yeah, there'll probably be a change there at A&M. But again, I mean, you have all the toys, young toys, a lot of clay to mold. And before we get at it, before we kind of move to the grades, give Wiggins credit.
Holman
Again,
Wiggins,
school, not an awesome high school recruiter. I mean, granted, this could pan out at A&M. Alabama never panned out, really. Isaiah Bond's probably the best kid he signed out of high school. He also brought in Jermaine Burton, also brought in Jamison Williams at Alabama. We've seen what he's brought in this portal area. So he does a good job bringing in kids through the portal. You can say what you want. That's a part of the game now. So you can critique his high school recruiting, which is fair. That's fair. But you also got to give the same credit to the portal because it is what it is. It's like free agency. It's another way to go sign kids out of the portal to get free agents on your roster and proven commodities like we're talking about with KC Concepcion.
Wiggins does a really good job of also developing the wide receivers that he brings on in. Jermaine Burton went from being an undraftable wide receiver to a 3rd-round pick. Jamison Williams was a quality number 3 receiver that became a number 1 and the X factor for Bryce Young in 2021. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to believe that Casey Concepcion, Mario Craver, Micah Hudson, they're all going to get better because of their working with Holman Wiggins and what he can do to elevate them. I just look at, again, this is a kid that I remember watching when he was in high school, right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I said to myself, whoever gets him is in such a great position. Alabama wanted him. South Carolina was looking at him. Ole Miss was looking at him. Colorado was looking at him. There were so many schools that knew that this kid had all the intangibles to be a legit weapon. And here's A&M. They're saying, no, we're not going to play second fiddle to Texas. And you have to realize, Dave, as much as we want to put pressure on Marcel Reed to be the guy next season, can you imagine now with this wide receiver room what the offense can be? And especially what it can be with the dual threat of Marcel Reed? Because you go back and you watch the Las Vegas Bowl, on the final drive, he's the one utilizing his legs. What if you don't need that anymore? What if you just go ahead and do a dink pass, a shovel to a guy like Casey Concepcion, 20-yard touchdown, and you don't have to worry about going off against a USC defense. You don't have to worry about playing prevent. Your defense has got to get better. But Mike Elko is a defensive whiz. He is going to, I think, get the best version of a defense out there every single season. You got to be able to spend in the offensive side, especially when you're not an offensive-minded coach. And a guy like Casey Concepcion, I think, solves a ton of your issues in the passing game. It allows you to then give reasons to where if Marcel Reed is struggling, you say we're going to move to Jacob Zeno, we're going to move to Miles O'Neal, we're going to move to a different passer. It puts pressure on everyone to have to step on up because when you land a player of this magnitude, when you get a cat like this, a dude, it is a hard sell for me not to believe in him. Let's go ahead and grade the move. Elite, all league, winnable plus, winnable minus. I'll let you break this on down. Dave, you got to talk me off of the ledge on this one because if I have a very strong feeling that I'm going to be giving out a grade I have yet to give out yet.
Yeah, so this is a Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning type of grading scale here. It used to be the Nick Saban, Bill Belichick critical factors. It was too long-winded. It was like showing your math. And there were 2.3, 2.5, 2.7. People that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Way too much out there. They had to dumb it down a little bit. So this is what they came up with in my 9 years in college football. This is what I started using for our grading scale here. So elite, all league, kind of in the same categories. Obviously, they're different, but again, I don't give these out a lot. Cole may surprise us here today with one, though. I think I've given out one all league, nobody elite. Even going back to my grading, so like when I was in college football, I never gave out elite. But those are guys that your wife, for the fellas listening, your wife could tell you it's a good player here, guys. And I guess for the women listening, we love our women viewers, listeners. If your husband's a poor folk and don't watch football, he could tell you too. But all league in the same category here. Like these are dudes that are going to be difference makers right off the bat. Most of your roster, if you are hitting on 50 to 70% of your current roster and you're grading them, and this is Kirby Smart, them do this twice a year. They go grade their own roster. A lot of teams don't do this and see where they've hit and missed. If your roster is 50 to 70% of your top 10 guys, or you're grading 10 guys, and it's winnable plus, you got a championship contending roster. Winnable minus, don't look at the minus as a bad thing. It's a guy you can win with, but not because, if that makes sense. More because is in the winnable plus range here. You can surround yourself in the wide receiver spot, the offensive line spot, the defensive line spot, running back room with winnable minus guys if you surround them with other tools that can elevate their level of play. So here for me with KC Concepcion, I'm going to go, and it's not him really, and I don't really know if this is even fair, but I'm grading it into the fit. I'm going to go winnable plus. I'm going to go winnable plus. Leaning, and again, this one doesn't. I used to have winnable in here, but he wouldn't be in this. He's winnable plus all league range for me. Mine is just the fit. Because I haven't ever seen. It doesn't mean he can't. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it can't happen. It's just I'm not the first one to go jump in the water. I want to see Colin Klein utilize these tools correctly. There's a lot of them. Can they all stay happy? That'll be interesting too. The spring on offense is going to be a blast to watch for Texas A&M. But I will say, until I see how he's utilized in this role with Colin Klein, because he had all this since Deuce Vaughn's one guy his whole career calling plays at Kansas State. How does he utilize KC Concepcion? I want to see that. So I think it's winnable plus. If he's used correctly, inside, outside, use him in the backfield on certain packages, similar a little bit like Anaya Smith. All league would be my case there.
I'm going to do it. Dave, I'm going to do it. I have to do it. I'm putting him in the lead. I don't care. This is my favorite player in the transfer portal, far and away. I loved watching him when he was in high school. I loved watching him at NC State. I think that he is a difference maker. And if he can elevate a quarterback room, if he can be the reason why your quarterback is getting to 10 wins, you're going to a college football playoff. That is a Biletnikoff Award caliber wide receiver. That is a first-round potential wide receiver. I thought that the reason why NC State was better than advertised in 2023 was the way Concepcion played. He is going to be the difference maker. This was the 87th ranked passing offense in the country. They finished with 210 yards. I believe that simply by adding in Concepcion, that gives you an extra 50 yards per game. So now we're talking about potentially a top 50 passing unit. On top of that, you're going to have to open up the offense for other guys. A guy like KC Concepcion, the reason I think he's elite, Dave, you have to know where he is on the field at all times. You cannot be like, we're going to be able to guard Craver. We're going to be able to guard Hudson. Let him. Nope. We got to know where Concepcion is, because if he can run it out of the backfield, you can utilize him in the Anaya Smith type of packages, which is the reason I really love him down in College Station. He's going to open up passes for Noah Thomas. He's going to open up plays for Micah Hudson. He's going to open up plays for Mario Craver. You have to know where Concepcion is, and you can't leave him on an island. He is that dangerous. He is that lethal. And now I get him to work with Marcel Reed, and now I get him down to College Station. He, to me, is a three-win guy, meaning that you're going to have 3 losses turn into wins. So if I had this team going 7-5 at the start of the year, I think they can go 10-2. If I had them going 6-6, I think they can go 9-3. I think he is that impactful of a receiver. And I've already died on this take. I have said whoever gets KC Concepcion, I believe is in a good spot to go to the college football playoff. Do I believe that this is the best fit for him offensively? No, I do not. I think Texas would have been a much better fit. But that does not deteriorate me that Texas A&M is getting an all-world-class elite playmaker and a dude that, if used properly, will be a reason why the Aggies can punch their ticket to the playoff in the dozen dance in 2025. I absolutely love the fact that A&M swung to go get KC Concepcion. It hurts Texas. It hurts Alabama. It hurts Ole Miss. It hurts South Carolina. It betters them. And now the Aggies have a legit number 1 receiver. This may end up being the best wide receiver that walks through since Mike Evans, when all is said and done if he stays for 2 years. I love everything about Casey Concepcion.
Oh, you have him on Travis Hunter's level.
I have him on Travis Hunter's. I think that he can be that impactful of a player down in College Station, Texas in 2025 and beyond. I really do.
Yeah, good player. I just it's system fit. I want to see it first.
All right, so who are you more like? Me, who is over the moon that A&M lands KC Concepcion, or Dave, who is a little bit more actual level-headed and probably still is agreeing this is a really good player. Regardless, he is a really good player, and A&M gets him. Make sure that you like the video, hit the ring notification, comment down below your thoughts on KC Concepcion headed to College Station in 2025. Follow us on the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at SEC Unfiltered. Follow Dave at Mach 10 Sports, me at Mr. Cole Thompson, and check out all of our great work found at secunfiltered.com. For Dave Shumate, I'm Cole Thompson. Aggies, you got wide receiver number 1. Gig 'em. Peace.